complete.
Looks like we're finally going to get some baseball at Condren Ballpark here in Gainesville after a significant rain delay. Florida and South Carolina, the Gators just one win away from punching their ticket to Omaha. As you're watching the NCAA Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Boy, the sun is out, but last night, the drama, the intensity, everything you would want. An emotional night here in Gainesville. But the Florida Gators found a way to win 5-4 over South Carolina to take game number one. It was all you would want in a college baseball game. For Florida, they're looking for their first College World Series appearance since 2018, be the 13th overall. Meanwhile, South Carolina hasn't been to Omaha since 2012. Of course, they won the title in 10 and 11. So a lot at stake as the Gamecocks trying to play one more game here down in Gainesville, Florida. Dave Neal alongside former SEC Player of the Year and big leaguer Chris Burke. Glad you could join us. And Berkey, last night, you couldn't have drawn it up as a baseball fan any better than what we saw.
No, it was a fantastic baseball game, right? We had 5 home runs. We had guys throwing in the mid to upper 90s, highlight reel plays all over the field, late inning drama. Like, it was everything you would want in a college baseball game by 2 teams, I think, Dave, that are good enough to win it all.
Well, we spent so much time talking about this Kevin O'Sullivan pitching staff over the years. This year, though, this offensive team might be one of the better ones he's had. Yeah,
it's a complete team. It's scary. They're 3rd in the country in home runs. And last night, they were putting that power on display. Josh Rivera, the All-American shortstop, got the party started. Tyler Shelnut, who has come on nicely down the stretch, 2 big RBIs, including this launch piece, and BT Riopel, who just, all he does is hit home runs. Another large one last night by the Gator captain. Quite a performance.
You look at the numbers in the postseason, 10 home runs in just 6 games for Kevin O'Sullivan's teams, 19 extra base hits, and of course 129 home runs this year. That is top 3 in the country. Speaking of offensive power, certainly there is plenty of that for South Carolina. The guy at the top of the lineup nearly won the thing by himself last night.
Yeah, it was pretty special, right? Will McGillis, the transfer from Southern Miss, was launching them all night long. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Brandon's throat. That one leaves the entire facility. This one was 96 from Brandon Neely. It gets launched to left. McGillis was special last night. He's been special all postseason. They'll need more from him in this one.
Gators trying to clinch a spot in Omaha. South Carolina trying to stay alive as the road to Omaha goes right through Gainesville. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Volvo XC90 Recharge Plug-in Hybrid. Some of the national championships won by these 2 respective clubs. There's that 2017 national title won by the Gators. As the Gators are the visiting team today, and this is the lineup exactly how they went last night. Cade Curlin in that leadoff spot, the freshman with 16 home runs. Langford has 18. Caglianone has 31. And then you go down to the bottom, Tyler Shelnut's now starting to get in the party. 2 for 4 with a home run last night.
Yeah, they needed that last RBI too. Came in the bottom of the 8th and ended up being the insurance run that made the difference in the ballgame.
On the mound, Jack Mahoney, who has really blossomed this year after some arm issues in 2022. He is full force here in 2023.
Mahoney's interesting now. The fastball is going to get up to 95, 96, average 93.5. You'll see 4 pitches. The changeup is the best swing and miss pitch. Now, he does give up some hits, 82 hits in 80 innings, but he can get out of it with a sinking fastball and a really good changeup.
Mahoney picked up the win against Florida earlier this year in that 3-game set in Columbia. As South Carolina swept through the Gators, but last night, Florida responded with that 5-4 win, and the first pitch to Cade Curlin in there for a strike. Mahoney at 6'3", 205 out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. Facing a guy at the plate in Cade Curlin, who has been an unbelievable find. Actually, you don't expect freshmen to come in to this league, especially a guy that reclassified to get to Florida and do what he's done. A 300 hitter with 16 home runs and 16 doubles.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost slugging 600.
And he's your second baseman who just looked at a called third strike for out number 1.
Ooh, Jack Mahoney knew it. Little K-strut as he makes his way back to the baseball. This is a backdoor two-seamer here. Look at the two seams on that ball just ripping back across the outside edge. That is a really hard pitch to defend with 2 strikes. Beautiful execution. Take a look at the pitch usage here. About 2/3 fastball, so he trusts that heater.
That one misses to Wyatt Langford. Wyatt, a tough night for him at the plate last night, 0 for 4. Don't see that very much from this young man. A 380 hitter on the year. Grounds it out to Wimmer at shortstop. Fields and throws, and that'll be out number 2.
Well, it's a sharp start there for Mahoney. Always nice to get rid of Langford on an infield ground ball, too, as they have been able to keep him at bay so far.
Yeah, Langford hit a couple last night. Let's not put it into a slump category. He
Yeah.
barreled up a couple of them last night.
Just missed a homer to left center and hit a rocket off the pitcher.
Here is Jack Caglianone. The 3-hole hitter has had an unbelievable season, both as a pitcher and as a hitter. 6'5", 245 stepping into that batter's box with 31 long ones and 84 runs batted in. And he's behind 0-2. And look where he sits on the single-season home run leader list. Brandon Larson in '97 of LSU hit those 40 long balls. That one hops back there to Cole Messina.
Only 3 ever have hit 30. Caglianone now second all time. And it's just it's a legendary season in an era where the ball's flying out of the ballpark.
Called strike 3. Couldn't ask for a better start if you're Jack Mahoney. Gamecocks grabbing their bats. Led his troops through the Columbia Regional as they dominated their opponent. They were plus 30 in the scoring margin. You see what they have done in 4 games, hitting .347, averaging 11 runs a contest. Last night they came up 1 run short against the Gators. As you look at the lineup, Will McGillis still the DH role, bothered by a wrist, so just swinging it, not playing out in the field. Wimmer, excellent shortstop. He's bothered by a hamstring. Petrie, though, not bothered by much. Messina behind the plate, but Petrie's been the story for them offensively this year.
Yeah, he just got all the makings of a major league hitter. Last night it was 2 for 3 with 2 backside rockets, hit a walk, and now Hurston Waldrep will get the ball and try to keep this talented South Carolina lineup at bay. Projected first-round pick in next month's draft. You're going to see the fastball up to 99 miles an hour, folks, and he's going to show you a slider and a curveball, but it's the split-finger fastball that acts as a swing-and-miss changeup that really can devastate a lineup.
Well, here comes the guy last night that hit some moonshots out of this ballpark, Will McGillis, the designated hitter. 14 long balls now on the year. He saw the second pitch fastball last night and turned on it and hit it over the berm and left. This time he'll look at a second pitch strike. 97.
If you're going to throw a fastball, you better get it out over the outside edge. McGillis proved that last night.
That one misses inside. 2-1 the count.
Both home run pitches were almost identical fastballs that ran to the inner third of the plate.
Popped him up.
Oh,
and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Well, that just looked like a mess from the get-go with Curlin coming from a second base spot. Shellnut had a long way to run.
Well, this is what makes you realize how special the play was last night from Josh Rivera. You get to that spot, like Curlin gets to that spot, and then you start to feel the footsteps. Like, I didn't see Shellnut call him off. For whatever reason, Curlin just put the brakes on. When 2 more strides, he was probably there to make the play. All the more impressive the play Rivera made in shallow left field last night, where he just ran out there fearlessly and avoided that collision.
Here's Braylon Wimmer, the senior shortstop out of Oklahoma. Big boy at 6'4". Wimmer last night 2 for 5, scored a run. Boy, really could tell on the base paths how much that hamstring's bothering him yesterday. Could not go certainly full speed. We'll look at a strike there. It's 1-2. Second consecutive year for Waldrep to pitch into a super regional. He was in Hattiesburg last year on a hot weekend against Ole Miss.
How about it? Hurston Waldrep was pitching in the Super Regional last year. Will McGillis, who's at first base for South Carolina, was playing in the Super Regional last year. And Southern Miss is still in a Super Regional and winning right now.
And a rain delay with Tennessee up 4-0. And there is a called third strike for Wimmer. Kevin O'Sullivan said before the game today, if he can establish these pitches, it makes his fastball so much better, and that's when he can dominate guys. So keep an eye on that off-speed stuff if he can land them for strikes.
That was a knee buckler right there. Wimmer just totally frozen.
Lined. No throw back to first, but out number 2. So Petrie is retired.
Petrie is so good at first pitch breaking balls. Usually a guy sees a first pitch breaking ball. If they swing, they're early, they're disconnected, maybe they swing and miss. Petrie hit that ball right on the screws. Just bad aim, Dave. Don't hit it at Josh Rivera. Bad idea.
I mean, he has to be at the top of the list among shortstops in the country, I would think, Rivera.
Yeah, he's right there. Jacob Wilson out in Grand Canyon certainly getting a lot of buzz. Jacob Gonzalez from Ole Miss. This man right here, Josh Rivera, right there with any of them.
That one just misses. Cole Messina, the South Carolina catcher. The Summerville, South Carolina, having a really, really good sophomore season with 17 homers and the 65 runs batted in. Fouls that off at the plate. Strike number 1.
Yeah, I mean, he does so many good things behind the plate, but then you factor in his offense. There's a reason why he was first team All-SEC. He has had a spectacular season for South Carolina.
He starts landing that. Watch out.
Curveball looks like it's got a little something to it, a little snap to it.
Runner goes. Here's the throw from Ryapel. It is in time.
This was not an easy pitch to throw on either. A breaking ball down and away. Ryapel gives Curlin a chance, and the tag on the back. It looks like just ahead of McGillis getting to the base.
What a setting here in Gainesville at Condren Family Ballpark, McKeithen Field. We are moving to the top of the second inning. We had a record crowd, the largest crowd, on-campus crowd to watch a college baseball game in the history of this state last night. Something tells me we might surpass that total here in game number 2, as Jack Mahoney was lights out in inning number 1. A couple of strikeouts and a ground ball to start things off. But here is Josh Rivera. Josh offensively has had a exceptional season with a junior shortstop. Look at those numbers. 17 homers and 67 runs batted in.
Yeah, it's been an incredible season. Was a 250-ish career hitter coming into this year. Here his 4th year at Florida, and he is just transformed into a first-round pick right in front of us. The body has gotten more athletic. The defense continues to amaze, but the range has improved, and And the offense has just exploded this year.
32 career home runs, has 17 this year. That ball's launched out to center. Will Tippett broke back, but he will make the catch. Ricky, let's go back to that caught stealing a moment ago, and you brought up a great point while we were in break. Talk me through this.
Well, this is why I started sliding head first whenever I thought it was going to be close, right? If you're lower to the ground, instead of that tag being able to, watch how the tag gets him at the shoulder, right? So the tag gets him at the shoulder. If you're all the way onto the ground, that tag has to go down another 1.5 feet. By then your fingers are at the base and you're safe. So sometimes that throw that's up the line and high will get you if you don't slide head first.
There's a strike to BT Riopel, who turns around, looks at our home plate umpire, Greg Street. Greg looks right back at him and says, "You can get right back in that box if you'd like."
That's right. I'm calling the balls and strikes today.
And that one misses off the plate. BT, his story is just incredible lately. It's a great story anyway, but he has 7 hits in the postseason, SEC tournament and NCAA tournament. 6 of them have been home runs.
Yeah, he's 3 for 22 in the postseason, all 3 homers. Or excuse me, in the NCAA tournament. Yep. Make them count, BT.
He hit one 446 feet straightaway center last night. We talked to him after the game, and he's just an emotional guy. Was so appreciative for the crowd, the environment, soaking it all in. Says it. He was like, "I don't want this to end."
Yeah, he's already said he's not going to go play professional baseball. Going to take a job in the financial world when he's done here. So he truly knows his days are numbered, and boy, he's playing like it. What a find he has been coming over from Coastal Carolina in the transfer portal. He's one of Kevin O'Sullivan's favorites.
Second year with the Gators. Boy, that one just missed. 3-2 the count on Riopel. Out of Marietta, Georgia. Oh, Mahoney thought he had a strikeout. Instead, Riopel heads down to first.
Wow. Where did this one miss, Dave? I mean, goodness.
That split the plate.
Jack Mahoney's got himself an argument right there. That is right down the middle. And BT might have not been happy about the call early in the count, but boy, his boy Greg Street hooked him up there on a 3-2 pitch.
Here is Luke Heyman. Luke, the designated hitter. Luke last night, 2 for 4. There's 95 for a strike.
He's doing a nice job of getting that ball to his glove side. So you see a lot of sinker ballers have a hard time getting the ball to their glove side because that two-seamer wants to run back into righties and away to lefties. But Mahoney has been just dotting the outside corner so far in this ball game.
2-1 the count to Heyman. The freshman out of Longwood, Florida. Went to Lake Brantley High School. Heyman fights that one off, but it's going to drop in right. Riopel turns the corner, but gets back to the bag in a hurry. So 2 on here for the Florida Gators.
Well, this was special right here. So when a guy's running that two-seamer in on your hands, you'll hear hitting coaches talk about inside the ball, inside the ball. Watch how close the arms stay to his body right there. Just contract that lead arm. Get the sweet spot of the bat the best you can inside the baseball. Otherwise, that's a 5-4-3 or 6-4-3 double play. Man, the freshman Heyman can really make some impressive moves for a young hitter.
Tyler Shelnut, the junior out of Lake City, Florida, stepping in. The Gators 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position last night. An opportunity here in the second. That's
a missed opportunity there. Tyler Shelnut maybe outthought himself right there. Runner in scoring position, fastball right down Broadway. He has really done a nice job here down the stretch for the Gators.
Shelnut with a home run last night. High chopper. Shift is on. There's nobody to cover second base, but they'll get the out. That could have been a double play ball.
Well, Braylon Wimmer's not happy with his second baseman right here. This is so they got both guys on the same side of the base. This is where his second base. I know it's hard, but if he goes right to the base, Wimmer can flip it to him, right? You get two players in that close to space. Once Braswell goes for the baseball, there is nobody to flip it to. And this is some of the growing pains. I mean, don't forget, Michael Braswell played shortstop last year, right? Hasn't played a ton. Will McGillis was the second baseman early. Will Tippett. Braswell's been out there the last few months. But those are the kinds of plays that can get awkward when you don't have a ton of innings under your belt.
Second and third for Colby Halter. Colby, the number 8 hitter in this lineup. 245 on the year. Halter with a double last night as he goes 2 for 4. Halter was a guy that started 65 games last year, all over the infield, third base, second base, shortstop. Had a great summer in the Cape Cod League. Was a Cape Cod All-Star, but just had transferred at the plate this year. As that one is into the seats. Gonna be hard to get the souvenir. There's a lot of people out there battling for the foul balls tonight.
Yeah, we need some berm etiquette out there as it pertains to fly balls, foul balls. There's a lot of things that could be knocked over on each other as people go to try to make a play on those.
One and two on Halter. Oh boy.
King not happy about the strike zone. I actually thought Greg Street got that one right. That one looked like it might have just been a touch inside, but there have been a few that would draw the ire of the Gamecock skipper, that's for sure.
Line, that's a base hit. That's going to get 2 runs in. Colby Halter delivers.
Wow, and you go back to the double play ball that they don't turn, Dave, right? Michael Braswell unable to turn a double play on a double play ball, and this is a two-seamer that just catches too much of the plate. Colby Halter hadn't driven in a run since May 1st. About a big 2 RBI double for the Gator third baseman. The veteran coming up clutch here as the Gators take an early lead.
Richie Schieckhofer, swing and a miss, the 9-hole hitter. Schieckhofer just kind of busted onto the scene here in the last few weeks, kind of taken over that left field spot. The senior hitting .213 with 1 home run. Went 0 for 3 last night. Just the 10th start of the year for Schieckhofer. That one gets past Messina. Halter over to third base.
You know, and I don't know if Halter would have been able to score had he been on third. It felt like Halter could have gotten 3 on the ball he hit in the right field corner. Now, Ethan Petrie's got a big-time arm out there. You don't want to make the third out at third, but Justin Parker's going to go have a chat.
Boy, this thing started out so well for Jack Mahoney. In the first inning, he goes strikeout, ground out, strikeout. Gets a fly out of Rivera. So the meat of this lineup, he gets him 4 straight.
A 3-2 pitch on Ryapel that was.
Hey, we've got to move over to ESPN News, so join us. hopefully you have clicked over and found us on ESPN News. Sorry for the short notice. But due to scheduling issues with all these rain delays throughout the Super Regionals, Texas Stanford over on ESPN2. Schieckhofer, just 1 home run and 5 RBIs on the season. Even count at 2-2. Sharply hit to Wimmer. Boy, a soft throw and good pick by Casas, but a good start for the Gators. In their half of the second, they pick up a couple of runs. It's 2-0 Florida. The College World Series starts next Friday, June 16th. There are some teams, including the Florida Gators, that could punch their ticket today. South Carolina trying to keep it alive. Meanwhile, TCU last night looked very impressive against Indiana State. Boy, they were something else last night. That's a team that has turned the corner, to say the least.
Man, Kirk Sarlo's club just playing like the hottest team in the country. 18 of 20, 19 of 21, whatever it is. They were 23-20 on May 1st. Now they're 1 win away from Omaha.
Here's Cole Messina, who was at the plate to end the inning on the caught stealing, and he grounds out to Rivera for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. Talmadge LaCroix will step into the batter's box. Talmadge 0 for 4 last night at the plate. His average has dipped down to 295. Talmadge came in at 302 to this Super Regional. A sophomore with 4 home runs. Talmadge, one of those players kind of banged up down the stretch for South Carolina. Back at third base now, and he's healthy. And the Columbia Regional last weekend, where you saw those numbers, 6 of 11 at the plate.
He's been fantastic here in the postseason, hitting 400 with 6 ribbies.
Swing and a miss. And there's the tag from B.T. Riopel. Didn't need to throw it down to first, but they'll take the out, and that is out number 2.
This is the breaking ball here. That's the slider, not the split. LaCroix never picked that one up. Swung and missed by about a foot on a breaking ball in the dirt. 2 quick ones here for Waldrep.
Gavin Casas, the Gamecock first baseman. 19 home runs. The transfer from Vanderbilt looks at strike 1. 56 runs batted in.
That's nasty right there.
No swing. BT.
Ooh, that was close. Casas sold it, though, very well.
Casas has been working on his swing here. Got in a little bit of a funk down the stretch. Working to try to shorten that swing up a little bit. Nothing he could do about that. Waldrep looking very nasty. Kevin O'Sullivan will put on a headset when we come back. Dugout is their head coach, Kevin O'Sullivan. And Sully, I know it's hard to kind of look around and absorb the environment, but last night, from a baseball perspective, I'd like to get your thoughts about that game, because we certainly enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, the crowd last night and tonight, and really all year long, it's been outstanding. And you know, we got the brand new stadium, and yeah, 2 rain delays, you know, the first 2 games here, and they stuck around, so the crowd's awesome.
Waldrep off to a fast start. What was the game plan for him today?
To get all of his pitches going, to be honest with you. You know, we learned last night that they were jumping fastballs, and, you know, throughout the game we could kind of switch back and forth, but I thought it was important to establish his secondary pitches early.
All right, buddy, we'll let you go. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, guys.
He's definitely done that.
Yes.
The all-speed stuff has been early and often, and he's commanded it well to this point.
The lineup starts with Cade Kurland, and it will start the third inning. First pitch he sees, he fouls straight back. Boy, Cade takes a major league hack at this ball.
It's a little dude with a big hack.
Yes.
And some real juice in there.
Ground ball out to Wimmer. Throws over to first for out number one. Hey, ESPN is the home for the NCAA College Baseball Super Regionals. For around-the-clock multi-game coverage, scan the QR code below. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play all day today. Get on it, folks. Open up your phones, get the camera out, get the QR code, and you can get a little Mike Rooney. We could all use a little Mike Rooney in our lives.
Who doesn't need a little Mike Rooney?
Here is Wyatt Langford, 0 for 1. Langford grounded out to shortstop his first time.
They are in another delay in Hattiesburg. And I think the tough part about that one is an hour or so delay. You get them going again, and then now you're back at another delay. This is got to be tough on the managers with the pitching right now with all the weather going around. The good thing about it here is we've been dealing with delays, but once we've played, played, right? Hopefully that'll be the case again the rest of this afternoon. But man, the start and stop deal is very tough on a ball club.
Wyatt Langford, speaking of big hacks at the baseball.
Hanging breakable that he just swung a click under. You see him shaking his head. He knows he just missed that one. Don't think Mahoney's going back to the breaking ball here.
The two-time All-American looks at a called third strike. 95 miles an hour rings him up.
That was the pitch, right? The breaking ball was not fooling Langford. So you throw this, again, this backdoor two-seamer. Look how beautiful that pitch is. Mahoney just dialed in on the command of that pitch right now. Langford gave up on it out of his hand and froze in there for strike three.
Ground ball to the right side from Jack Caglianone. Braswell and short right makes the throw, and a good catch over there by Casas. So a good frame, good rebound frame from Jack Mahoney as he gets the Gators 1-2-3. Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Boy, the berms are filled up. To see perhaps Florida advance to Omaha with a win tonight. South Carolina hoping we play again tomorrow. You see what will happen in the first day of baseball in Omaha. The winner of this Super will take on the winner of the Virginia Duke Super, which is now even at one game apiece after Virginia responded in a major way today back in Charlottesville.
Yeah, a laugher. We haven't had too many of those yet so far in the Super Regional round. Virginia got out early and just kept their foot on the gas. Southern Miss out comfortably on a lead with Tennessee right now, 4-0. Man, we had some fantastic baseball games yesterday.
Great day for the game.
Yeah, it really was. With Oregon coming back the way they did. That was the lead highlight on SportsCenter before Major League games today. The Oregon comeback.
Great. One and two the count on the Gamecocks second baseman, Braswell. Fouls that one. Scott Wingo, former infielder for the Gamecocks over there, still showing you some good hands.
Nice, light on his feet, just reactions. He's ready. He's in Super Regional mode.
Yes, he is. 2-2 on Braswell. Hurston Waldrep, 6 up, 6 down to this point. Braswell, a couple of nice baits hits to the right side last night.
He's trying to go that way now. He starts with a little bit of a closed stance, and really, he's almost square to right center to start. See how the left foot's in front of the right. So for him, right center is almost center. And it almost reminds me of a red Edgar Renneria back in the day. He used to use the backside of the field so well.
There's ball 4. So the first base runner for South Carolina is Michael Braswell.
Nice AB. He continues to stay sharp.
Boy, the one issue for Florida this year from a pitching standpoint has been the walk. They have gotten in trouble when this staff has a tendency to
free passes. Yeah. 11 and 9 when they give up 5 walks or more, right? So that's really the way you get them. You're talking about a team they've only lost 15 games.
And in the sweep in Columbia, they really were missing the strike zone. I think there were something, they were 30 walks in that 3-game series.
I know that weekend was not their sharpest, and obviously South Carolina made them pay. But last night they were fantastic on the mound. Just 2 free passes last night for the Gators.
There was 24 free passes in that game in that series against South Carolina in Columbia.
Yeah, and eight a game average with free passes. That's probably not going to get it done.
No. Here's Dylan Brewer. Dylan hitting in the 8th spot. Out in left field tonight, 244. 8 homers, 27 runs batted in. South Carolina, 58 of 69 in the stolen base department. There's a strike to Brewer. Waldrep looking back at the mound. He stumbled after that last pitch.
Yeah, it looked like he grabbed the spike there.
Fly ball out to center. Wyatt Langford. And there is out number 1. And here comes Will Tippett, the freshman out of Atlanta.
Well, last night we saw Mark Kingston play a little bit of the inside game with the freshman Tippett, a sac bunt and a RBI single later, gave the Gamecocks a run early in that ball game.
Sharply hit Rivera.
Do it.
To second. Oh, are you kidding me? To first, not in time, but Rivera with a heck of a play.
Nobody better in the college game, Dave. The range that he has shown this year has just been spectacular. Look at the reach. First the reaction, then the reach, and then a perfect feed. And Curlin darn near turns this one. Just from his knee, rip it to Curlin, who does a really nice job of making that a close play at first base. Just tip it too quick. Rivera has put on a show with the glove this season.
McGillis, the leadoff man, singled his first time up. McGillis 9 for 19, a 474 clip here in the postseason, and that one is a foul ball. Back to Rivera for a minute. I remember talking to South Carolina coaches got up in a hurry.
Yeah. Monty Lee, the hitting coach for the Gamecocks, wanted to challenge that. You can't challenge a ball that lands in front of the base.
But back to Rivera for a minute. Kevin O'Sullivan was talking to us about where he's improved defensively. Obviously, his numbers offensively, but defensively going to his backside, those plays right there. How do you get better at that?
Well, I think the agility's improved as he's trimmed down his body and become a better athlete. Like you look at Josh Rivera right now, and he looks like a major league shortstop from a physique standpoint. Maybe early in his career was built a little bit more, maybe more like a third baseman, but has leaned up, and the quickness and the footwork has also improved. And man, he's got all that, the it factor too, of a big-time shortstop.
Here's the 2-2. High in the air, out in shallow center.
Bad read.
Yeah, Langford broke way back. And how about Shellnut coming from right field to make the catch? Inning is over. Gators lead by 2 after 3. Top of the 4th inning. Joining us down in that Gamecock dugout is their head coach, Mark Kingston. And King, from an offensive standpoint, obviously Waldrep has got some stuff going on. What's the plan? How do you try to get to him a little bit?
Well, you know what you're going to get. You know, the percentages are very clear. Fastball counts, you're generally going to get a fastball, and if he gets you to 2 strikes, it's going to be all the off-speed stuff. So you just have to have the discipline to see the off-speed stuff up so that you don't chase it down.
Coach, we're watching your shortstop, Brendan Wimmer, grind it out, gut it out for you. What was the conversation like with him today as he was getting ready to play this game?
Well, very little, Chris, because he was going to play. You know, I mean, very little conversation. It's just he's a gamer, he wants to play, and there was really no need to have a conversation.
Well, he's putting on a toughness display this weekend. It's impressive to watch.
He's a winner, he's a gamer.
Quick question about Mahoney, your thoughts?
So far, so good. Obviously, the 2-out hit there was a little tough for us, but look, he has good command. He's down in the zone right now, and he's keeping him off balance.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the time, King.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
We're lucky to be in this environment with those 2 guys. A lot of fun to talk baseball with them. Kevin O'Sullivan and Mark Kingston. King back in the Supers for his first year at South Carolina. Took him to the Supers in Arkansas. Gets that draw.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. And now this time he gets the draw to come here to Gainesville.
On the road at the SEC champ and his 2 Supers. Not the friendliest of draws. I'm sure they are looking forward to either hosting or being at an unfamiliar venue the next time they're in the Supers. I tell you, back to Wimmer, you know, there are a lot of guys that would be afraid to play on this stage at less than 100%. And that is in your mind in all that you do, offense, defense, obviously base running. And tons of admiration for the way he has taken the field here this weekend on what's not even close to ideal circumstances for him physically.
Josh Rivera, the opposing shortstop. Boy, blisters that one out into right field. So Rivera with his first hit of this, or excuse me, first hit tonight. Had a couple of hits last night.
Just a rocket into right center field. And Josh Rivera, he can do this now. We saw him hit the poolside homer yesterday, but has really grown in his ability to use the backside of the field. And boy, Jack Mahoney not too happy about that result.
Man, he is an intense competitor. This is the 3rd start down the stretch I've had of Mahoney, and he is a bulldog. Yes. BT Riopel looks at a strike. Mahoney last year, interesting, he was a freshman All-American in 2021. Had some arm issues. Did not pitch last year, but a 2-way guy, actually got some at-bats. Got healthy, got back in the rotation this year, and hasn't missed a beat. I mean, took a year off from being on the mound and has been really, really good. He's thrown 80 innings this year with a 7-3 record and an ERA right at 4.
Yeah, he's just been steady Eddie for him, right? Just the ability, and he's been dominant at times, but the best ability is availability, and he has taken the ball all season long and given them quality starts.
His season cut short on the mound in early May of his freshman year, got back on the mound in February of this year. So almost, was it 18 months away from the game on the mound. Throw down to second, not in time, and there's a stolen base from Josh Rivera. That's his 16th of the year. He does a little bit of everything.
Just put on a show for him this weekend, Josh. Now he's going to show you he can swipe a bag. Got a little vertical there on his takeoff, but plenty good enough jump to get there easily.
Mahoney actually homered last year against the Gators in this ballpark. Now he's pitching against the Gators on a guy that hit a mammoth shot to center field last night. B.T. Riopel, and he'll look at that one inside. By the way, Mahoney, one last thing about Mahoney. He got one start last year against North Carolina at second base. Also hit a home run in that game. That was his one start. Make the most of it.
Yeah. Tough lineup to stay in.
So B.T. Riopel going back.
Change up in the zone here after a bunch of fastballs in. They go try to go change up down and away. Ends up being a change up, but Riopel swings right underneath it. Big out right there by Mahoney. Riopel just so dangerous right now.
Luke Heyman fouls that one off. Luke's last time up, singled and came in to score. Heyman came out of high school, considered one of the top 5 or 6 catchers in the country. Was a top 50 overall prospect. But with B.T. Riopel behind the plate, Heyman, your designated hitter.
Yeah, just needs to buy his time a little bit. He got plenty of reps behind the plate this year, but just down the stretch, the experience, the leadership of Riopel has just kind of pushed Heyman to primarily the DH role. But boy, do they have high hopes for Heyman moving forward.
Big guy. I mean, he's 6'4", 215 pounds.
Yeah, big kid, and there's a ton of development still left in that frame.
One and one to Heyman. Boy, what a crowd here in Gainesville for this second game of the Super. Ground ball to the left side. Wimmer botches it. Boy, it almost looked like he got confused on which way to handle that.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Dave. He was going to backhand it, and then it's like he was in front of it, so he decided to go palm up. Watch, right at the end, he flips that glove, and as he's flipping it, he comes up on it just to touch. The ball gets into the webbing and then kind of ejects out of it. That was just one of those kind of late decisions that got him in between. And now the Gators with a couple runners on for Tyler Shelnut, who had a big game last night.
The Gator right fielder grounded out his first time up. When they've got the shift on. Again, they got Braswell on the shortstop side of the bag. This happened earlier on a ground ball hit almost in that spot. Nobody covered the bag, and they could only get one out when it was a double play ball.
Yep, and I would guess they went in the dugout and had a conversation about that.
One out in the inning. Shelnut on the year has grounded into 4 double plays. Shelnut, a former two-way player at Santa Fe Community College, not far from where we sit here in Gainesville. And he'll look at strike number 2.
Again, another glove side fastball from Jack Mahoney. He's just done a really nice job of executing that pitch, really from the start of the ball game.
Popped him up right side. There's some foul ball territory here at this ballpark. An opportunity to steal an out, and they can't do it. Petrie thought he was closer to that wall than he was, and he's telling Casas, let me know. Talk to me.
Yeah, he's telling Casas to tell him where the wall is. This is one of those plays, too, where if you slide feet first, you don't have to worry about hitting that thing full speed, right? If you leave your feet, you can see him there talking to Casas. It sounds like Casas said, I was, and he's saying, I didn't hear you. That's what 8,000 people will do to you, right? Playing in one of these grand venues. Very difficult play.
Shelnut hit a Santa Fe Community College school record 19 home runs last year. Hit 26 home runs in his junior college career, covering 80 games before making his way to Gainesville. And smokes this one to third. Bobbled. The only throw is over to first, and they will get the out. That is the second out, but the runners will advance to second and third.
And that seemed like a missed opportunity right there for South Carolina. Another double play ball at the bat of Shelnut that South Carolina just can't quite convert. That one just looked like the last hop rolled up the wrist of Lee Croy. And now here we are again. Halter on with 2 on and 2 out.
Halter doubled, picked up 2 RBIs. Back in the second inning. .94 miles an hour, but misses the plate, so 2-0 to Colby Halter. Halter's average now sitting at 250 after that double, and they're just going to put him on. They want to face Richie Sheekall for the 9-hole hitter. What goes through your mind, Berkey, when you see the guy in front of you intentionally walked to get to you? I mean, are you just curious what the...
Yeah, no, there's times when you know it happens because of situations. There's other times when you know it happens because they want to pitch to you, and that's where it can get in your head a little bit. You got to try not to do too much because the instinct is to want to prove it to them, right? And I'll show you why you should be worried about me kind of thing. All you could do is get a good pitch to hit and take your best swing, no matter what the circumstance.
Ground ball. The throw to first, just in time. So the strategy works for South Carolina. They get out of that. Gators leave them loaded, but they lead 2-0.
all. I mean, it's really cool to go out there and win it all. I know it sounds easy, but that winning, that winning feeling, like I said, with the dog pile at the end of it, bringing another championship, and then the party after and the parade after with all the fans there at the stadium for Gainesville is really, really special.
Well, Brady Singer, of course, won a national championship in 2017. Whit Merrifield now. He won a national championship with South Carolina in 2010, and Whit kind of stirred the pot with Brady this week. You saw those tweets, the exchange. I mean, naming your kid, I mean, that's a big bet to name your kid.
And Brady hopped right in there and took it. Yeah. Brady made sure to update Whit yesterday on Twitter that the series started off 1-0 for the Gators. So,
yeah, and
I
Brady,
love the banner, man. That's fun.
Brady doesn't really tweet either, so to get him engaged. I mean, he's got 2 tweets in like the last few years.
That caught his attention.
Wimmer, 3 pitches and a strikeout. That is the second time Wimmer goes down via the K.
Wow, that split finger is gnarly. Look at the bottom drop out of that thing. You see Hurston Waldrep shaking his head, yes, because that's exactly what he wants to do with that pitch.
Now it's Petrie. He lined out to shortstop his first time up. Boy, 96. Misses the barrel. South Carolina, the first 2 innings in the Super. Here in these 2 games, 3 runs, 7 hits. But since then, just 1 run on 5 hits.
Yeah, off to a quick start, and it is slowed here lately. This Florida pitching staff will do it to you.
Petrie's freshman season been phenomenal. Boy, the freshmen in this league.
Incredible year for freshman hitters. Incredible.
Wait a minute, Charlie Condon was the offensive. That one is foul. I'll get into the parking lot, but Charlie Condon, the University of Georgia freshman, just shatters freshman records with his power display. But Jace Lavalette at Texas A&M, I mean, the offensive tools for the freshmen in the league this year, really, really outstanding.
Ike Irish at Auburn.
Well, that ball's belted out to center. Wyatt Langford does a little dipsy-do and misplays it, can't find it. Petrie will end up at second base. Well, second ball today that he's kind of had trouble picking up and getting a bad read on it.
Well, this has been a bit of an experiment putting Wyatt Langford out in center field. He turned right, he turned left, and then that ball just kind of knuckled and nosedived on him. A ball smoked off the bat, 105 miles an hour from Ethan Petrie, and Wyatt Langford just did not get a good read on that at all.
There is a strike to Cole Messina. They're going to score that in error, by the way, on Langford. Ground ball. That'll be fielded over there by Halter across the diamond, and they will get Messina. Boy, Langford has had over 200 chances, and that's his first career error in the outfield.
Well, first of all, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And he's played his whole career in left. And you think outfield is the outfield is the outfield. That's not the case. The ball does different things in different parts of the diamond. And there's a learning curve from playing the corner to playing center field. And we're seeing a little bit of that right now.
What is you played some outfield later in your career. What is the difference between playing a left and a center?
Well, the corner positions, you got to deal with the spin of the baseball. That's the hardest part, right? The way the ball slices and hooks off the bat, depending on if it's a left-handed or right-handed hitter. In center field, you get a better read. You should get a better read because you're seeing the hitting zone so clearly, right? And but you have the demands of more ground to cover, and more, that's not just laterally, but in front of you and behind, right? So there's a lot more pressure.
Ground ball, Rivera, backhand, plants a foot, throws a strike. That's the play that'll make him a very, very high draft pick. 2-0 Florida. And welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. We are moving to the top of the 5th inning. Florida out in front 2-0. They picked up that 2 spot back in the 2nd inning off a double from the 8-hole hitter, Colby Halter. Well, you would think South Carolina has handled the top 3, Curlin, Langford, and Jack Caglianone, 3 for 17 here in the Super. You'd think that that'd be with 6 strikeouts. You'd think if you get through those 3 guys, keep them at bay. Oh, nice stab over there by LeCroy. Oh, well done. So they will get Curlin for the 3rd time.
That was not an easy play, right? This ball is smoked to his left, and it's pretty much a do or die. LeCroy, nice job of making a very difficult play look routine.
Wyatt Langford, 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. He is 0 for 6 in this Super, but 0 for his last 8 overall. I would say that Wyatt Langford hadn't had an 0 for 8 stretch in a while.
That means he's due.
And now he's got a 3-0 count.
And we saw him pull the trigger in the regional on a 3-0 count. Actually didn't work out well. Ended up grounding out to 3rd base, but we know Sully has trusted him to pull the trigger in these counts in the past.
So the free pass to Wyatt Langford brings us to Jack Caglianone, who's one of 3 Golden Spikes Award finalists, along with Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens. Boy, that is some fine company to be keeping if you're Jack Caglianone.
It's a pretty good list.
You surprised Langford wasn't on that list?
You know, there was a couple people I thought could have made that list. Ultimately, you're only going to pick 3, right? So somebody's going to be disappointed. I thought Rhett Lauder from Wake Forest had an argument, 2-time ACC Pitcher of the Year. I thought J.J. Weatherholt from West Virginia, who was the Big 12 Player of the Year, had an argument. But, boy, it's tough to argue with the 3 they picked. Some gaudy numbers from all 3.
Still trying to get that one in Baton Rouge, the LSU-Kentucky Super. Game 1. Supposed to start at 3 o'clock Eastern, but they've been in weather delays. Poor Ben. I was with Ben in Baton Rouge last year, and all we did was have a big rain delay all weekend. He gets another chance to sit through rain delays.
Did it actually rain?
It rained for 20 minutes, and we had 10 hours.
I don't know that it's rained there today either.
But at least he changed his companies. Tom Hart's with him this weekend.
Yep.
Maybe a different conversation.
Lightning delays, I guess mostly.
I thought I was a good rain delay companion. Boy, sharply hit. Boy, Caglianone, when you see, we were down on the field before the game today, folks, and I'm just telling you, there's only a few people that really do this, but when he's in the cage, like, you don't even have to pay attention. It just sounds different off his bat. It makes you turn to look to see who's taking swings.
Yeah, it really does. It's a special sound coming off his bat.
Average 1 home run every 8 at-bats this season. If there is a Game 3, Caglianone will be on the bump for Florida. Well, that one gets away, but right out to LeCroy, who was on the right-hand side of second base on the shift. The third baseman has moved over there, but saw some activity in that South Carolina bullpen. If need be, pitch count up to 78. But a 3-1 count right here to Jack Caglianone.
Be careful.
Runner goes, throw down, and a stolen base for Wyatt Langford, his 9th of the year. But a strike called on Caglianone, so it's 3-2 at the plate.
That was interesting. Stealing on a 3-1 count with Cags up is, you know, you probably feel like the pitchers kind of forgot about you focusing on the hitter, but Cags to take that pitch, that was a really good pitch to hit. Almost looked like he was letting Langford steal the base.
Oh, and that one almost clipped him, but it's ball 4. And Mahoney has walked back-to-back batters now, and here comes Josh Rivera with 2 on and 1 out. Let's see what South Carolina wants to do here. They're going to take a moment and talk about this one.
A lot to talk about here. You got Rivera, who is really swinging the bat well. And Mahoney at 80 pitches starting to, you know, probably feel a little bit of this Florida heat here in the top of the 5th.
Hey, the NCAA Super Regionals coverage for all 8 sites continues tomorrow on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. So Josh Rivera to the plate with the bases loaded. Or excuse me, runners first and second. And Rivera looks at strike 1. Rivera 1 for 2. On deck, BT Riopel.
Mahoney does a nice job commanding the baseball. That first pitch slider was a touch off the edge, and he got the call, so why not go back to it, right? That one, he borrowed just a little bit more than Greg Street was going to allow. All right, 3 straight sliders away. You got 1 out and runners on first and second with a sinker ball pitcher on the mound. This feels like a sinker down and in. Try to get a ground ball at one of your infielders.
Sharply hit, base hit. They're going to wave the runner. The throw not in time, and the Gators just took a 3-0 lead as Wyatt Langford slides across home plate. And the RBI.
That's exactly what they wanted to do from a pitch location standpoint inside, but it was up, right? They wanted to throw that sinker in. He gets it in, but he leaves it up. Rivera's able to smash that ball in the 6 hole, and then the Gators with a nice job of running the bases, and I think that'll be it for Mr. Mahoney as Josh Rivera continues to shine on the brightest of stages.
Second hit of the game for Rivera and his 68th RBI of the year. So Jack Mahoney exit this one down 3-0. So a pitching change in order for the Gamecocks. We'll update it when we come back. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Chris Veach, the sophomore right-hander, getting the call out of the bullpen to take over for Jack Mahoney in a 3-0 game, and not the easiest of situations with runners at second and third as you look at the numbers. The 20th appearance of the year for Veach.
And with Veach, it's all about the changeup. The transfer has come over from Presbyterian and shined with the ability to get swings and misses on that changeup. It's not elite velo, but man, can he turn that changeup over.
And he'll face BT Riopel, who has walked and struck out. Rivera stands at second. Jack Caglianone over there at third base. Gators trying to open this one up. There it is, right out of the gate.
Just nasty. And you know, you can get the report. You can, even if you have previous history like that, the first time you see a changeup that has that much depth to it, tough to really be ready for it.
Again, BT Riopel, 7 hits in the SEC tournament and in the NCAA tournament. 6 of them have been home runs, including one last night to straightaway center field. Reaches out for that one, 1-2 the count. Boy, here's the home run, Berkey, from last night.
It looked like a changeup. I don't know if it was a two-seamer or a changeup from Will Sanders, but whatever it was, BT Riopel compressed that baseball at a serious high level. 110 exit velo, 446 feet off the batter's eye to dead center field.
Didn't get a piece of that one, and that is the second out of the inning. So Veach comes back 93 and then has that 77-mile-an-hour changeup.
Yeah, velo up to 93 right there. 15 miles an hour or so difference between the fastball and changeup. That is just a tough combo to defend, especially when you get behind in the count.
Here's Luke Heyman at 1 for 2. No 1-1 on Heyman.
You go a little cut piece to get started. You go fastball up to 93, swing and miss changeup.
That'll mess with you, won't it?
Whew, that's a lot to defend.
I mean, that's just gross.
So between Veach's changeup and Waldrep's split finger, we got 2 of the best pitches in college baseball on display right now. I mean, these two wipeout off-speed pitches are a tough task for the hitters in this ball game.
That one misses down. Called strike 3. The inning is over. Boy, Veach coming out of the bullpen in a tough situation, did not flinch. Gamecocks trying to get their bats together. They're down 3.
The baseball today for the Gators with a chance to pitch them back to Omaha for the first time since 2018, and he has been razor sharp. We've seen all of the arsenal from him, the big breaking ball, the split finger fastball, the tight slider. The fastball's been up to 99 miles an hour. Just the 1 walk and 1 hit. Been a pretty special outing so far for Hurston Waldrep.
Florida's pitching in the NCAA tournament has been fantastic as he starts Casas off with the ball. They have thrown 48 total innings by this Gator staff. They have struck out 62 guys. Opponents are only hitting .215 against them, and they've only allowed 12 runs.
And you know what's interesting about the Florida staff is we've always seen it. We've seen how great it can be from a standpoint of potential. But those numbers right there really illustrate them coming of age as far as reaching the potential from Sproat, Waldrep, Caglianone, Fisher, Slater, Neely. Like, it's been a staff effort, highlighted by their stars who have pitched like stars. But, man, it's a pitching staff that's performing as well as any in America right now, that's for sure.
In this day and age, a 2.04 ERA is incredibly good.
Yeah, and the fact that they've been able to keep a South Carolina lineup that averaged 13 runs a game last weekend to 3 in the first 2 innings and scoreless since, pretty special.
Here's Braswell. Gets a little taste of 96. Foul tip back into Riopel's glove. However, though, you put yourself in a little bit of a bind here with the walk to Casas on 4 pitches. And he fouls that one back, 0-2. One of the things that Kevin O'Sullivan was talking about is that you really got to try to avoid. The big thing with South Carolina is the 3-run homer. When they can get that going. Braswell swings and misses out number 1. So you don't want to give them the free walks.
Well, no doubt about it. I mean, first of all, you never like the 3-run homer, no matter who you're playing.
Yeah, right.
But this South Carolina lineup is the kind of team that can do it to you up and down the lineup, as we see Braswell chase that split finger from Waldrep. After a 4-pitch walk, a 3-pitch punch out.
Yeah, Carolina's not a team that's going to dink and dunk you for 6 or 7 runs. Here's Dylan Brewer. Dylan, the transfer from Clemson, 0 for 1 tonight, hitting 8th in the lineup at 243 now. He flew out his first time up back in the 3rd inning. And he looks at strike number 2. Three pitches and back to the dugout for Dylan Brewer.
Hey, you just never know, right? You're in the middle innings and 4-pitch walk, and you think, well, maybe is he getting a little tired? And then boom, 6 straight strikes, and that split finger has just been devastating in this ball game.
Will Tippett hitting 9th. Swing and a miss. That's 7 straight strikes.
Little slider right there to start that AB, and Waldrep is locked in right now.
Tippett. Did he offer? Greg Street says no. Ball 1.
BT is not happy. BT's mad because he thought it was a strike on the swing. I talked about the check swings last night, Dave. Remember I said I feel like umpires sometimes can't blink on a check swing. Same thing with a bunt, right? It's almost like you're anticipating action, and then all of a sudden the ball is taken. But that's clearly a strike.
So it's 1-2 now. Waldrep, a couple of years at Southern Miss before transferring here to Florida. Was a 3rd-team All-American last year after going 7-2 with Southern Miss. That one is just off the plate. Called strike 3. Inning is over. Casas stands at first base. Crowd on their feet. Florida leads it 3-0 after 5. But don't forget, we have got the best place for you to get all the action of these NCAA College Baseball Super Regionals. For around-the-clock multi-game coverage. Scan that QR code right there on your screen. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play all day today. Things are getting really busy now. I think LSU and Kentucky going to get going here shortly in maybe another hour or so. TCU,
hopefully.
Indiana State in the bottom of 3rd, they're going. That ball's hit out to right field. And that'll be caught there for out number 1 by Ethan Petrie. So Shellnutter's retired. Oregon has a chance to punch their ticket after the comeback win last night. Crazy, they were down 8-0. Came back to win 9-8. That crowd was electric last night in Eugene.
Unbelievable baseball game, and probably a little remorse on the Oral Roberts side that they weren't able to get their closer in the ball game earlier, but you got to give all the credit to Oregon coming back. First time ever team has come back from 8-0.
Colby Halter out to center field. Will Tippett is there to make the catch, and that'll be 2 down. Richie Schieckhofer, the 9-hole hitter, coming to the plate. Boy, Veach has come on and done his job. Matter of fact, there were a little bit of fireworks, some verbal fireworks at the end of the last inning.
Well, Chris Veach coming in all fired up, had a little something to say to the Gators. They had a little something to say back. Right. That's the way it goes.
This is what it looked like after back-to-back strikeouts by Veach. And That guy that ran right across his face was Jack Caglianone. I don't necessarily know if you want Jack coming back.
Just shoo him off the field.
yeah. Jack goes, what, 6'4", 250? 6'5", 250?
Yeah,
I mean, that
sounds about right.
Yeah, you just don't want that, I'm thinking.
Chris Veach has not gotten to where he's at by being scared. This young man, he's not afraid.
He walked into this game with runners at second and third and one out and punched out back-to-back guys.
Like it was nothing. This dude's, he's not afraid to stick his chest out there.
There is a walk to the 9-hole hitter. Schiekofer, and now you get to face Cade Kurland.
Back to the top of this Gator lineup that really has not been as productive as usual as far as Kurland, Langford, and Caglianone. But always a scary group here.
The freshman Cade Kurland, 0 for 3 tonight. 2 down in the inning. That one misses down low. Talking to Kevin O'Sullivan about Kurland, of course, came in August, and he talked about how mature he was as a freshman. He said there was that wow moment where he felt like he kind of belonged in an inter-squad game in the fall. First time he sees Waldrep. Took him deep. Runner goes. Boy, big lead for Schiekofer.
That's doing your prep work right there, just understanding that Veach is going to be deliberate to the plate. Schiekofer in there easily. Now another runner in scoring position for the Gators. Yeah, I'd say taking Hurston Waldrep deep in fall would kind of earn some stripes.
Your first inter-squad game.
Yeah, that'll announce your arrival with authority.
Kurland, 5-year starter in high school down in Tampa. Class 3A Player of the Year, high school All-American. As a junior, he had .468 and led the state with 13 home runs. He says Florida has been his dream school since he was a little child. Big swing and a miss, 2-2. Who would you guess of all the Gators? He's a huge Gator fan. Who do you think would be his favorite Gator player?
Of all time.
Of all time. Just curious who you think that might be.
Jonathan India?
Pete Alonso.
Oh, okay.
He went for the big bat.
Okay.
Big Pete.
Yeah,
No, India's good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good grab.
Takes a rip like Pete Alonso.
Yeah, he does. That's what made me think about Pete. Of course, Pete Alonso from the Tampa area is the connection. Pete's out right now, 15-day DL after getting hit by a pitch against the Braves a few days back. The Mets certainly miss him. Mets are falling apart. Not Chris Veach. That's his 3rd strikeout since entering the game. 3-0 Florida. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Well, obviously, the next step is Omaha. Florida, with a win here tonight, would move to Omaha for the first time since 2018. Of course, won it all in 2017. South Carolina trying to force a Game 3. They haven't been back to Omaha since 2012. Of course, went back-to-back in 10 and 11. As we start the bottom of the 6th with Will McGillis. It's the top of the lineup.
Time to go for the South Carolina Gamecocks right here, Dave. Time to go. Third time through the order. You got your 1, 2, 3 up.
Gamecocks just need base runners.
Yeah.
They haven't had much action today. Gamecocks have put together just one hit to this point. And Waldrep is on cruise control. It's almost like that walk to start the last inning has got him in a different gear right now.
I know, and the slider has induced more uncomfortable, maybe not more, as many uncomfortable swings as the splitter.
That is 4 straight strikeouts. Now here's a ground ball. Rivera. Wimmer having a tough time getting down the base path. That'll be out number 2.
And that's a shortstop that knows that the runner is not at top speed. Like normally if Braylon Wimmer hits that ball, you are on a full sprint throwing that ball on the run. But Rivera ran through the catch, but then gathered and took his time on the throw because he knew Wimmer just not running up to full speed.
Ethan Petrie. Big hack from Ethan. He's 0 for 2, reached on an error and lined out his first time up. That ball's blistered out into left center, so Petrie is on. Second hit of the night for South Carolina.
World-class hitter. Ethan Petrie is a world-class hitter. You talk about, he's still kind of young for his grade, Mark Kingston was telling us. And another body that has a lot of room. Like he's going to start filling out that jersey more and more. What a future he has.
Kevin O'Sullivan out to the mound on pitch 82. Now, Waldrop's season high pitches was 112. That came in 6 innings of work against this South Carolina team. Matter of fact, we had the same matchup, Mahoney and Waldrep in Columbia. Mahoney got the win over the Gators that particular night.
He's been a lot more efficient tonight with
yeah.
pitches because, again, keeping the walks down.
Philip Abner. Boy, there is one thing that there is a plethora of for this Gator team, and that is quality arms. They might be as deep as anybody in the country in terms of what they can run out there.
Well, the depth has grown here of late because there's a period of time in the season where the bullpen was maybe a question mark with this club, but not anymore.
Misses to Cole Messina. Messina was 17 home runs on the year. Ball not jumping today like it was last night. I mean, it was flying out of here. We had some mammoth shots.
Nobody's really barreled one.
Right.
I mean, it's not that the ball's not carrying. We just got a bunch of arms out there missing bats.
The wind is blowing in a bit now. I mean, I don't think we've had anybody really even on near the warning track today.
Halter hit the one ball at the base of the wall for a double early. That was it.
Hurston Waldrep just doing Hurston things right now. How it sets up for the winner of this Super Regional. They will take on the winner of the Virginia Duke Charlottesville Super Regional in game number 1 out in Omaha. Of course, that Duke Virginia Super all tied at 1. Virginia wins big today after Duke held on yesterday in Charlottesville. Florida trying to punch their ticket. Top of the 7th inning. Wyatt Langford 0 for 2 today. Wyatt walked and scored his last time up. 0 for 6 in this Super. But you're a big due theory guy, and I would say that he is due.
Yeah, he's kind of past due, isn't he? It's been surprising to see Yeah, you don't want to say struggle, but the fact he hadn't got one to go his way yet, just credit to the South Carolina pitching staff. Some really talented arms. Well, that's a nice job by Cole Messina back there. That ball's off the plate. Just a beautiful job of receiving that baseball, presenting it in such a way that Greg Street gives him the call.
Called strike 3. Langford still looking for that first base hit here in this Super Regional. And Veach with another strikeout.
A changeup up and off the plate, kind of runs back just to the edge. Now these are the two that had some words here just a little bit ago.
It's 4 strikeouts in the 6 batters, or excuse me, the 7 batters that he has faced since coming into this game.
He's been terrific out of the South Carolina bullpen.
Ground ball, Veach knocks it down. Underhand toss, and that'll be out number 2. Bergie, this is a crazy number. The South Carolina, what they've done to the top 3 of this lineup, Curlin, Langford, and Caglianone, they are 3 for 21 this weekend with 7 strikeouts. But yet Florida's right on the verge of going to Omaha.
Hitless today.
I mean, that is just crazy to think about, getting through that onslaught of offensive players, and you're still trailing. Well, Josh Rivera, though, has kind of picked up things with a couple of hits and an RBI. One and 1 the count. Boy, off the end of the bat, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Rivera with 3 singles in this game, in the 4th, 5th, and in the 7th. That might be one of the, I wouldn't say textbook swings you're going to get out of Rivera, but it was just enough to get him the base hit.
Yeah, just extend the barrel, reach out and dump the ball in the left center field. Not exactly a rocket to the gap,
No.
but works just the same.
And here is BT Riopel. BT struck out in the 4th, struck out in the 5th. Also walked and scored this afternoon. Now into the evening. Well, you think about the Gators and their baseball following and what it used to look like at McKeithen Stadium. It's hard to just get people to go and embrace the environment and the supers and the postseason. Here's the throw down to second. Got him. Messina behind the plate.
Outs.
I mean, he threw that and was already jogging toward the dugout.
That was right on the button. We might have a review here.
Rivera, he's not giving up that bag too easily.
Rivera head first. The throw definitely beats him. Does the tag.
But again, it goes back to what you said. If he slides feet first, he's out.
Oh, definitely. I think he's still out. Braylon Wimmer, for whatever reason, caught that ball way in front of the base. if he takes another, see how far in front of the base he is there? So he's got to reach back for the tag. That look didn't give us much there. This one, I think, is the best look.
But it's still just really hard to see.
Looks like he gets him on the elbow just ahead of time. But see that 1.5 feet, 2 feet?
Yeah.
That's that length putt you don't like to make, Dave? That 2-footer? If he's back to the edge of the base, that another 2 feet, it's a no doubt.
I just don't know that there's enough to say that that's a. I mean, the call was out.
I kind of think he's safe, but I think you call him out, right? That's one of those where your catcher says to your shortstop, "Hey man, help me out here."
But I mean, Messina was just great. Watch this. I mean, watch, he throws it, and he starts taking off for the dugout like, I got this.
That was a dot. Like Aaron Rodgers after he throws a perfect go route.
Cole's wearing a new catcher's mask. Of course, that got foul tip right off the top of the forehead. Got him the new updated mask that has a little bit more cushion spring in the top of the, right above the face mask area. To help him out, he was in concussion protocol for a while. There you go. Again, I really close, but I just don't think there was enough there to overturn the call on the field, which was out. So the inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th.
Tune of 9 punch-outs through 6 innings.
Here's LeCroy. Well, you just think South Carolina. There may be a couple base runners, and they get back to the top of the lineup here before this one's over, but you just felt like they had an opportunity as LeCroy hits it to short. Rivera has been perfect today. But Waldrep able to get McGillis, Swimmer, and Petrie last inning, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, that was, if you're Kevin O'Sullivan and you were wondering how much juice he had left in the tank, the ability to run through that part of the lineup told you all you needed to know about how sharp his stuff still was. At this point, he might be smelling the finish line. Still, what, 8 big outs, so maybe not all the way through, but
that one kicks off the backstop to Gavin Casas. Talked about yesterday, Big Gavin has been a really good find for Mark Kingston, transferred from Vanderbilt, kind of sat in that portal for a while and wasn't getting many bites. They went back and studied his high school tapes and just said, you know what, there's something in there we like.
Oh yeah,
let's bring him in. And he has had a really good season for them at first base. But he has just had a tough time like everybody else today against Hurston Waldrep. And Hurston now up to double-figure strikeouts today with 10. It's his 6th game on the mound with 10-plus strikeouts. The 2nd game in a row. He had 12 against UConn. And trying to chase down his high this year, 14 against Miami back in early March. Braswell looks at a first pitch strike. One and two the count.
Here comes this crowd again.
Fouled off at the plate. Waldrep out of Thomasville, Georgia. Now one's down in the zone, 2-2. Now it's 3-2. Pitch count up to 98. Called strike 3. Inning is over. Strikeout number 11. Hurston Waldrep just cruising along. It has been a great weekend for Gator baseball to this point. It has been enormous crowds here at Condren Family Ballpark. Last night we had the largest on-campus college baseball crowd ever in the Sunshine State. And tonight we have surpassed that number. Over 17,000 fans through the turnstiles here in the Super Regional in Gainesville.
Talking with the Florida Athletic Director, Scott Strickland, during the rain delay, they did a fantastic job constructing this ballpark, especially with the berm, and making it so fan-friendly, making it where there is room for more, basically, to just continue to pile people in. And the fans have responded to how much they enjoy this new venue in record numbers.
BT Ryapel. He will look at ball 2. There is a strike from Chris Veach, who has been very effective out of the bullpen. Fouled straight back. BT trying to keep his career moving on. Berkey talked about it earlier. When this season comes to a close, so does his baseball career. Moving into the financial world. And something tells me he's going to be pretty successful.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd keep Wyatt Langford and Jack Caglione's number awfully close.
Yes.
Sprode and Waldrep would be on speed dial. Rivera would be my new best friend. Like, I think he's got some guys that might have a little money that he could handle.
BT hanging tough. Catching here for the Gators was a high school quarterback, has that leadership mentality. Boy, he certainly keeps a dugout where it needs to be from a mental standpoint.
Yeah, tough to quantify great leadership. It's also really special when it comes from certain positions, and catcher is certainly one of those positions. You love to have leaders behind the plate. They're so involved in everything you do.
Here's our Sunday night baseball matchup. The series finale between the Red Sox and the Yankees at the stadium, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Red Sox last night win with a thriller 3-2 over the Yankees. That'll be tomorrow night, Sunday night baseball. So there will be a change on the bump for South Carolina. Veach certainly did some fantastic work for the Gamecocks, but they have had a tough time trying to find an answer for Hurston Waldrep today. Hurston with 11 strikeouts. And what Hurston has done to this South Carolina lineup that came into this NCAA tournament in the Super Regional on fire. It's been amazing. Just 2 hits today for South Carolina.
Yeah, and it really started last night, right? Brandon Sproat gave up 3 in the first 2, got out of the bases loaded jam. And really, since the bases loaded jam, Cole Messina hits the comebacker right back to him. They get off the field with the old 1-2-3 double play. From that moment forward, South Carolina hasn't really scared it all that much. And a huge piece of that is the Florida's pitching staff's ability to keep them off balance, right? We've just seen so many off-speed pitches for strikes. And Waldrep, 11 punch-outs, 2 walks today, certainly has executed that game plan perfectly.
I mean, the first 2 innings last night, they had 3 runs and 7 hits. Since that point, 1 run on 6 hits as Eli Jones takes over out of Peachtree City, Georgia, his 22nd appearance of the year for Eli. He does have 6 starts to his credit this year, 4-5 record. Art Kingston just trying to run out of answers. Boy, I'm telling you, this is a really good offensive team that has just run into this buzzsaw.
Mm-hmm. It's a Florida pitching staff that can do that to you. I mean, it's the 2 they've seen. 96 to 100.
Right.
Swing and miss, changeup, split finger. And Sproat last night, it was really more of the curveball over the slider. Yeah. Today, Waldrop's shown you the slider as well. I mean, this is not normal college stuff that this Florida Gator pitching staff runs at you.
Yeah, Sproat, little struggle early. But once he found it, whatever that was, he has just, he was dynamite last night.
Yeah, really started doing a nice job of landing the breaking ball, bigger, slower curveball, just because Sproat can get to where everything's firm, 98, 99, changeups 89, 90. When he started throwing that bigger wrinkle breaking ball in there, South Carolina struggled.
I mean, that's pretty good triumvirate of pitchers right there.
Yeah, they're not allowing many base runners, and because of that, all 3 of them are going to hear their name called very high in the draft. Caglianone will be next year.
Luke Heyman, the DH, 1 for 3. Nobody out. Runner at first is BT Riopel. One and 1 the count. See the scores up there in the upper right portion of your screen. Kentucky and LSU. That's going to be an outstanding Super Regional. They have yet to get that one going. They've been in a lengthy weather delay.
As has Tennessee and Southern Miss. And you think about it from LSU's perspective, the worst thing that could happen to LSU is what's happened in that Southern Miss Tennessee game, where there's a start-stop scenario. Because once they run Skeens out there, they do not want the game to stop. Now, ultimately, I don't, if people say it's time to play, it's time to play, right, and you roll the dice. But so far, from LSU perspective, I'm sure that's the way they would draw it up. If there's any chance that the game could be stopped, to just not even start it.
That one's off the plate. 3-2 now to Heyman. By the way, Skeens in the regional, his first career 9-inning complete game, threw 124 pitches, and I think it was pitch number 121 was 101 miles an hour.
Yeah, he didn't really run out of gas.
No. Heyman fouls that one back out of play. Boy, it was an electric atmosphere in Columbia last weekend for the regional fans. Turned out in force in Columbia. And South Carolina dominated that Columbia regional. And that one just misses. So 2 on and nobody out.
What'd you think here, Dave? It's that backdoor two-seamer.
Just
we
off
certainly
the plate.
have seen it called today. Looks like the Gators are going to go to their bench here. Wouldn't surprise me if they go to their bench and sack bunt here with Dale Thomas.
Yeah, so Dale Thomas, who's been trying to fight for some time at third base. The first bat really off the bench right now. Dale will hit for Luke, or excuse me, for Tyler Shellnut. As Heyman's over at first, Riopel's at second. And he does square up. Gamecocks pitching in at the corners. Oh, that hit him right on the hand. Did it catch some of the bat? They're going to say foul ball.
Yeah, it looked, he certainly offered at it. I don't know if it got part of his hand, but you know, I don't know if it got his thumb or not, but that definitely hit the bat. Just like that, 0-2.
He was shaking that right hand like it got a little piece of it. Lays down the bunt with 2 strikes. Only play over to first, and they'll get the out. So Thomas hanging in there, got the job done.
Well, that was nifty. Not a great start to that AB, but all's well that ends well. He moves the runners up 90 feet, and now Halter, who has a couple RBIs already in this ball game, a 2 RBI double in the second. They walked him his next at bat. Let's see if they do it again. Looks like they're going to pitch to him.
High in the air, left center. Brewer will make the catch, and that'll be good enough to get the 4th run home as B.T. Riopel touches home plate.
Professional at bat right there. No reason to wait around. First pitch you feel like you can elevate, get that runner in on, go ahead and let it rip. Colby Halter gets a hanging breaking ball, lifts it into left field. That's a big insurance run right there.
Richie Schieckhofer, 0 for 2 today, the 9-hole hitter. Grounded out twice and walked. Two outs in the inning now, but a 2-0 count to Schieckhofer. Due up for South Carolina in the bottom of the 8th will be Dylan Brewer, Will Tippett, and then back to the top of the lineup. Ground ball. That is the 3rd time Schieckhofer has grounded out to Braylon Wimmer. But the Gators had another. It's now 4-0. That's the place. College baseball fans and the top 8 teams in the country will convene beginning Friday, June 16th. This man hoping he can make a return trip. Of course, won the 2017 national championship, was in Omaha in 2018, but have not been back since. They are 6 outs away. And some changes defensively. Heading here to the bottom of the 8th, Michael Robertson takes over in center field. That means Wyatt Langford will move to his more comfortable spot in left field. And Schieckhofer will move out to right field. And Hurston Waldrep continues on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 100 pitches. Lined out to center. Teston Robertson right out of the gate, and he makes the play.
Ball will find you. Tale as old as time, but we go back and talk about the Gators in Omaha. Kevin O'Sullivan, 7 times the College World Series. First year was 09, making it to a Super. They lost. They've won every one since. They went 10. They hosted a Super in 10, 11, and 12. Won all of those. Then 15, 16, 17, and 18. Won all of those. 7 times to Omaha. 7 straight wins in Supers, and now 5 outs away from an 8th trip to Omaha and 8 straight Super Regional victories. All of them at home. Incredible.
Carson Hornung. Big swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Hurston Waldrep has allowed just 2 hits today. That's in there for a strike. It's 2-2. Another strikeout for Waldrep. And he is now up to a career high 7 2/3 innings pitched.
There's that split finger again. And that one started at the front hip of Hornung and just peeled back over the edge. There's the slider to McGillis. Well, he is mixed and matched.
There's another strike. 12 strikeouts to just 2 walks. He's K'd 8 of the last 12 Gamecocks he's faced. Make it 9 of the last 13. Kevin O'Sullivan told us before the game today, if Hurston Waldrep early in this game can start to land some of his off-speed pitches, he can dominate. We've seen that today. This is one of the most dominant performances against a really, really good offensive team.
Yeah, you just haven't been able to predict what the sequence is going to be from Waldrep. The ability to land the breaking ball, to throw the split finger, not only for a swing and miss pitch, but also for a strike. And then again, we've seen the fastball up to 99 miles an hour, so he just gives you so many things to think about as a hitter.
That split has been just fantastic today. Cade Curlin lifts that one into the berm area down the right field line. Now my question is, does it look, from what you're looking at in here, I mean, does it look like they're going to run him back out there?
It does, yeah. He does not look done to me. I could tell last inning when he went in the dugout, there was a lot of celebrating, and he kind of wasn't fully ready to engage in it yet.
109 pitches. One and 2 the count to Curlin. Fouls that one off at the plate. By the way, it's Curlin, Langford, and Caglianone. The top 3 in this lineup have had a tough weekend, but yet here the Gators are 3 outs away from going to the College World Series.
That would have been tough to predict.
Yes. Yeah, this top 3 of Curlin, Langford, and Caglianone now 3 for 21 with 7 strikeouts. Make it 8 strikeouts. I mean, really, it is remarkable that these guys have offensively been there pretty much every night.
Yeah.
And tonight that they're not there, you get Waldrep throwing at Jim.
And the back half of your lineup delivering. And of course, Rivera's 3 for 4. That helps.
Yeah.
Colby Halter with big 2 RBI double to get them started.
Here is Langford, who's had a tough weekend at the plate. Struck out his last time in the 7th. Back to that Colby Halter double in the 2nd inning that scored 2 runs. That was on a 2-2 pitch, and the pitch right before that looked like it was, could have been a called 3rd strike. Called it a ball, gave him another opportunity. Very next swing, smokes it down the right field line.
And Ryapel, who got that inning started, there was a 3-2 pitch that certainly could have gone the Gamecocks' way. There's a ground ball in that inning that could have got him off the field.
Right.
There's a few ifs for sure in this ball game.
Langford's average, this is how good he's been. It's dipped to 374. Called strike 3. He can't wait for this one to get over at the plate. It has been.
Well, we talked about this all year long. The SEC strike zone has been very small. Greg Street does not umpire in the SEC all year long. Wyatt Langford's been taking that pitch all year long. And today it's a strike. And we've seen him now his last 2 at-bats. That's now 3 strikeouts on the day, all looking. And, you know, it's part of the adjustment when you get in the postseason. You get umpires from all over the place.
Caglianone, they had the shift on big time for him, and he hits a rocket out to left. His first hit today. Kind of sums it up for South Carolina right now. And here is Josh Rivera. He has had an outstanding game. He has made some defensive gems. Did yesterday as well. 3 hits today. He singled in the 4th, 5th, and the 7th.
Yeah, and the defense you led off with there. It's easy to take it for granted, but man, when you got a shortstop on your squad that just is on automatic out when you hit it to him, what a confidence boost that is for the rest of the team, especially the pitching staff.
Out to center. Evan Stone checks into the game, makes the catch. And this is it for South Carolina. Last chance. Wimmer, Petrie, and Messina due up. Just 3 outs away from another appearance in Omaha. Can they close the door? Well, Hurston Waldrep trying to close it out. He started the game and trying to finish it. Just 2 hits allowed, 13 strikeouts, 2 walks, a career high 8 innings to this point. Braylon Wimmer will start things off for South Carolina. It's 2, 3, and 4. Pitch number 111. Fouled straight back. Now with a season high, matching 112 pitches. Of course, those came in the first meeting with South Carolina back in Columbia earlier this year. His career high for pitches thrown, 119, did that at Southern Miss. Two and two. 95. Concern on the faces of the Gamecock fans made their way here to Gainesville this weekend. Well, I really thought that this would have been a 3-game series coming into this, but Florida just a bit much to this point. One hops back there to BT Ryapel.
Yeah, I would have certainly thought this was headed for 3. South Carolina, just 3 outs left to keep it going. Waldrep's fastball command today has been impressive. Like he is just dotting the bottom edge of the strike zone with 95 to 99 mile-an-hour fastballs all evening.
High chopper. Barehanded by Waldrep. The throw to first, safe at first. Boy, you wonder if this is it for Hurston Waldrep.
He barehanded this ball. What in the world?
And he is safe at first, but here comes Kevin O'Sullivan. Tell you what, this is going to be some ovation for the Gator right-hander. Boy, Waldrep has had some great moments in his short time here in Florida, but tonight may have been his greatest.
That's how you draw it up right there. When Hurston Waldrep left Southern Miss to come to Florida, I am certain he had in his mind a moment like the one he just orchestrated there for the Gators, because that was dominant. And now he hands the ball to the closer, 3 outs away from a trip to Omaha.
You know, as we get closer to the end of this Super Regional, obviously you can't say enough about the season that South Carolina's had. I mean, they fought through some really serious injuries that changed their whole lineup down the stretch and found a way to get in to a top 16 national seed. But getting set up here to come here for a Super was a tough ask for anybody.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you just knew the Gators were going to be tough to beat here. It's been a special weekend, the biggest crowds Florida baseball has ever experienced, the state of Florida has ever experienced for college baseball. And as weird as it sounds, it's been a while since the Gators have been in Omaha.
Yeah.
They've been hunting this opportunity for a long time, and it's been a fantastic season for South Carolina. Disappointing in the fact that they weren't able to stay healthy throughout the course of this season, or else they wouldn't have to come down here to Gainesville and deal with this team here at home. But Mark Kingston and his club have a lot to be excited about, because they had one heck of a run and represented that great school well all season long. And really the way they hung in there, right? Because it would have been easy to fold up shop, but boy, did they respond once the postseason has started.
They put together a great staff. Did South Carolina. Monty Lee comes in from Clemson after being let go. Former South Carolina coach a long time ago, with Justin Parker, Scott Wingo, Alex Boychuk, the whole gang. They've done a nice job keeping this team together. But Brandon Neely, 13 saves this year. I mean, he has just been everything you would want out of a guy to close games for you.
Yeah, it's mostly fastball. You see a little bit of a cutter and a changeup as well, but he's going to lean on that heater.
Came in last night, gave up the 1 home run, but looked really good. I mean, pumping fastballs in there in the mid to upper 90s. Starts off 93 to Ethan Petrie. Petrie on the year with 23 homers and 75 runs batted in his freshman campaign.
Scary dude to face right off the bat. Ethan Petrie has been outstanding in this Super Regional.
Boy, 2-1 now to Petrie. Fouled off. That catches Ryapel. this Florida team. The #2 overall seed in this NCAA tournament. Under Kevin O'Sullivan, they've earned more top 8 national seeds, 10, than any other program in the nation. That ball's hit out to left, long run and a catch there from Wyatt Langford, who looks a whole lot more comfortable out in left field, and just threw one from on the run from deep left in the air all the way to Caglianone. Just wanted to show us his arm.
Having a little laugh about it. That was a good read, and like you said, back in his comfort zone there on the corner, and threw that one all the way in the air. Wimmer back easily, but why not show it off if you got it?
Here is Cole Messina. He's 0 for 3 today. Strike one. Gators also seeking their first 50-win season since posting 3 straight 52-win seasons from 2015 to 2017. Now it's full at 3-2.
Boy, Neely ahead 0-2, and Messina just didn't even think about biting at the last 3 pitches.
Called strike 3. That is out #2, and here comes Talmadge LaCroix. We'll let the pictures tell the story. The Gators have done it. They're heading back to the College World Series for the first time since 2018. Well, this is what it looks like. The first ticket punched for the 2023 Men's College World Series has the Florida Gators opening up play on Friday. And yes, you are Omaha bound.
And congratulations to the Florida Gators. You know, this is interesting. Sully had that run it's a new staff.
Yeah.
It's a new staff. Chuck Girolamo, Taylor Black, David Kopp, Mikey Rivera. Like that's not the crew that went the first 7 times. This is a new group. It's taken them a few years to get back to the College World Series, but boy, are they back, and they have a real chance to win the whole thing.
The celebration will continue. We will have more. We will talk with Hurston Waldrep when we come back. The celebration. Boy, is there anything better than a dog pile? You gotta love it. Back in a moment. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? I know what's going on here, and that is the Gators and their fans enjoying this moment. It was a tough regional for Florida. They had to fight their way out of the loser's bracket and take down a really good Texas Tech team just to get here and host this Super. But once they got here, they dominated.
Yeah, I mean, they lose the 1-0 game in their own regional. They play 3 straight elimination games, survive it, play one of the best college baseball games you'll ever see last night, and outlast South Carolina by a run. And then today hand the ball to Hurston Waldrep, and he just turns in a performance for the ages, one of the great college pitching performances you'll ever see on that kind of stage.
And speaking of Hurston Waldrep, he joins us now. Hurston, Dave Neal, Chris Burke with you.
Hey!
Hey now!
Hey!
Beautiful moment. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, that was cold.
Yeah, nothing. Hey, Hurston,
that was awesome.
Hey, I got to tell you, what was awesome was watching you pitch today. You were in this environment last year at Southern Miss. You transfer here, another opportunity. Talk me through the start, your mindset, and what you had to do to get off to a good start.
I mean, wow. I don't even know what to say at this point. It was the most awesome thing I could ever dream of. I mean, this crowd. I mean, this team. This is amazing. This is what you play college baseball for. This is why you come to this level. I mean, this is what you want to do. And so, you know, we knew coming into this game, we had the chance to make it to Omaha. We had the chance to do it right here. So I was like, we got to come out, bring everything we have, and just do what we've been doing all season.
Hurston, when did you know you had your A-plus stuff? Like, at what point in the ball game did you realize that you had complete authority over the baseball?
I'm not going to lie to you. My bullpen was probably one of the worst bullpens that I've thrown in a long time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of I started throwing, and then I knew it was going to be quick because it was really bad. And then got out in the first inning and I never looked back, got comfortable, and it was on from there.
Late in the game, we kept wondering how much longer you're going to go, but then you start punching guys out left and right. At one stretch, it was 9 of 13. Did you try to convince Sully to let you go back out there for the 9th?
Actually, BT did. He went up to Sully, told him he wanted me to go back out, asked me if I wanted to go back out. I said absolutely. I'm not turning that down.
Congratulations, man. Incredible stuff.
Yes,
Hurston,
sir.
Great job. It was a pleasure watching you pitch tonight. Good luck in Omaha.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I don't know that we're going to see a better performance in the postseason than what we just saw right there.
It's called clutch. I mean, it's the definition of clutch, and you get a transfer that was maybe not Paul Skeens is highly desired, but right up there with him, and you hand him the ball to go to Omaha, and he delivers on a stage like that. They'll remember that around here for a very long time.
You know, we've been around here a couple of days. Sully hadn't really smiled a whole bunch. A couple chuckles here and there.
Yeah,
but
he's letting it loose now, isn't he?
You can tell that he really, really wanted to get back to Omaha and feels like this team, listen, we've talked to him. He feels like they have got the pieces. And he knows he's won it in 2017, what it takes. Now, you got to get some good fortune to win this whole thing. Mm-hmm. But this is a very balanced team with now, at the end of the season, some length in the staff.
Oh, this is a team that can absolutely win the whole thing. They've got all the pieces now with the pitching staff. We know the offense has all the pieces. They're playing world-class defense. And Kevin O'Sullivan, 8 times to the College World Series, is a college baseball Hall of Famer. There is no doubt about that.
What a remarkable weekend. A shutout performance, a 3-hitter. Brandon Neely picks up his 4th save of the year, while Hurston Waldrep picks up his 9th win. The most important as the Gators celebrate, heading to Omaha with a 4-0 victory. Great day of baseball, great weekend of baseball here in Gainesville. For Chris Burke, the rest of our exceptional ESPN crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Gainesville.